Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Asim. I'm working as DevOps engineer. Guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how we can set up the multiple backends for our application, which is going to be hosted on Google App Engine. I have already created a video with regard to that, but as I discussed, that we are going to add multiple backends with a single load balancer, right? And I'm going to show you how we can simply disable this URL, which is by default provided by the App Engine. So let's begin. So you see, my simple app Hello World is routing to this playground, ucr.appspot.com, but I want to disable it, right? So if you want to see more detail regarding this existing setup, simply what you need to do, type on Google Cloud Geeks. You will see this channel, and I do upload videos regularly on this channel. So simply you need to type in the search app engine, right? And you will see the detailed video with regard to the deployment which we have done. So it seems like typo. So let me type that. So this is the video guide, guys, which I've done regarding the TLS, how we can use specific version of TLS. So definitely we are not going to cover this in this demo. So this is the repo which I'm going to share with you. So this is regarding the Hello World Python-based application, right? First of all, I'm going to show you how we can disable this default URL because we want just only route the traffic to our custom domain, right? And this is actually coming from the from the load balancer. And I'm going to show you how we can add multiple backends of Google App Engine and route the traffic through this load balancer, right? So guys, simply what you need to do, navigate to the services section. For instance, this is the default service, right? And let me just refresh for you guys, right? So you can see from start. So let me just navigate to this section and let's show you from the very basic start. So guys, this is my application, right? This is the default version, and if you navigate to the services, this is, for instance, default service. I'm going to deploy my new service, and I'm going to add one backend for that. But actually, I want to disable this first of all. This default URL provided by the App Engine. I just want to route from this traffic, from this URL, right? So simply click this guy, click the ingress setting, and let me show you other part as well. So you see, if you route in click this, you are routing to this URL. So I'm going to simply click the ingress setting, and by default, it is allowing all the traffic. You can allow only internal traffic only, but we are not going to select that because our application is coming from the load balancer, and from the load balancer, we have set up the backend. So we are going to select this and save it. So in a few minutes, you will see that the routing to this URL is going to be disabled. So let me just refresh it. You see, it is now forbidden. So your application is only available to your specific, URL. So this is how you can disable it. And other thing regarding that, the multiple backends. So let me show you that part. Okay. So regarding the multiple backends, so simply you need to type load balancer, right? Load balancing section, navigate to the load balancing section, um, right? And dismiss this guy. So this is our load balancer, which is actually has only one backend, right? And I want to add one more backend, and the application is going to be I'm going to use the same application, but definitely you're going to use different application according to your requirement. But this is the demo. So what we are going to do, we are going to follow these steps. So simply what you need to do, simply navigate to this section. For instance, let me start this guy in this tiny terminal here, and instead of using my local SDK, I'm going to use this one. So let it start, and we are going to use this, right? So okay, got it. Okay, so let it open in another tab, right? So let it start. Okay, so guys, let me show you from the start. What I've done, simply I've cloned the repo. By cloning, for instance, what you need to do, simply copy this guy and clone it. I've already done that, right? So you need to cd into this part, right? Let me do that. Okay, and simply I'm going to cd into this part, and right. So ls and pwd. So in this you see I have my app.yaml. So by default, the Google App Engine will launch the default applications. So I'm going to, let's say, launch a new application, but definitely the application is same. I'm going to rename it. For instance, let's say service name is going to be Cloud Geeks, right? So let's rename it. So let it call the service Cloud Geeks. So I'm going to save it, right? And I'm going to follow the same steps. So I want to deploy it, right? So for deployment, I'm going to use the same steps, but what I need to do, I need to simply export this guy first, right? And let me do that. Shift insert. So this is my project ID, and then what I'm going to do, I'm looking to deploy this application. So shift insert. Okay, let me refresh again for this guy here. Okay, copy seems to be not good. There you go. And what it does, I'm going to allow this guy, right? So what it does is gonna deploy the, you can say, the new version of my application with the custom name. Definitely you want, you see the service name is now Cloud Geeks. So now once it's deployed, I just want to show you guys that I just want to disable it from the default route, and I want to add one more backend in my application load balancer and route the traffic to this URL. So let's try to do that. And definitely, I mean, you need to add like different domain names also add in your DNS. So I have my DNS as well. So what I have done currently, and this is I already covered in my previous video. You can watch that in detail. So simply, if I navigate to the section cloudgeeks.tk, you will see that I've added entry with app, which is app.cloudgeeks.tk, and it is actually routing to the load balancer IP, and this is the IP you see. 52206. So it is exactly routing to that particular load balancer. So currently it is actually you know creating the service. So if I navigate to the service section and let's try to refresh it. So you see Cloud Geeks is now available. Let's try to access it. You see by default it is coming on this URL, and we are looking to only allow this guy to you see the ingress is set to all, and by the other application which I shown you is internal and plus the load balancing, right? So what we need to do, navigate to the load balancer section. I'm looking to add one more backend. So okay, so let me do that. Click this guy, and what we are going to do, you see current backend is just backend. I'm going to add one more backend. So let me first of all edit this guy. This is the backend configuration, right? So what you need to do, click this backend service and navigate to this create backend service. So we already have a backend service, but definitely we are going to create one more backend service, and the name of the service I'm going to say this is going to be the Cloud Geeks, and let's give the same description, right? And instead of instance group, I want app engine where I've set up my backend. So okay, and I don't want to use this backend. I want to create a serverless network endpoint group. Why we are doing that? Let me show you that. Because this is the region, US Central one, and this is the app engine. I'm going to select the service name, so you will see that this is the default service which we are previously using. Now we want to route the traffic to this guy, which is the new backend. Let's say done, create. So our new backend is set up, you see, and if you navigate to the routing rules, you can definitely add the custom route. Might be your app too. By default, I've set up the default route, routing to a custom, backend. So let's say app dot cloudgeeks.tk. Although I'm using the same service as I discussed, but you can use, you see, this is the backend which we're going to use. Uh, in your case, application is going to be different, URL is going to be different, but this is how I'm going to give you a basic understanding how you can do that. We are going to update that, right? And okay, so let it done. So what I'm going to do, I just want to disable this guy, and if I navigate, simply what I need to do, simply click this guy, click the ingress settings, and I just want to route the traffic from the load balancer and internally. So let it done, and you will see in a short while that you see this is forbidden, and as I don't have certificates to add another entry, so I'm going to use the same. The concept is pretty much like the same, that if you access this guy, you should be able to access your application. Guys, this is how you can add multiple backend to your load balancer in by using the GCP and using the serverless app engine. Hopefully you like the video. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe the channel, and have a nice day.